Hi everybody and welcome back to cEDH TV gameplay. Happy New Year's and I hope you had a great Christmas. And it looks like Rhetoric found some new presents. Today with us we have William.
Hello, today I'm playing a very fun pet deck of mine. It's Tymna Tana, a Hulk version. It's gonna do very fun lines with sacrificing Protein Hulk to basically get out a Kikijiki line, which is kind of cool.
Me, I'm playing Thrasios. Tymna, Chain Stasis. So Chain Stasis is one of many cards in this list that allows you to make infinite mana. Mostly we're looking for Devoted Druid to have an outlet with Thrasios and then to smash or waste everybody with Walking Ballista.
I'm playing Thrasios Akiri. The goal of the deck is basically to assemble a breach combo or a infinite mana loop of some kind and funnel that into a victory.
I'm playing Sisay, the Weatherlight Captain, 5-color good stuff legendary toolbox commander with various tricks. I'm actually experimenting a little bit on Necropotence, so in this deck I have Final Fortune and Born Upon the Wind as an additional option for winning the match. So we can see where we're gonna go with this. Either we go for typical classic Sisay, but if that fails because of various annoying tricks, then we could go for the Necropotence instead. Now this hand is actually pretty good. We have what we need, so we have turn 1 Dork into a turn 2 Rhetoric Study. That's great. That's where we want to land. And after that we have a Smothering Tide on turn 3, if we get enough Deathrite mana here. In any case, I'm keeping my first 7.
This hand does absolutely nothing. We have no lands, we have no play. Let's go to second 7, easy mulligan. Yeah, this hand is in the exact same boat, except we do have a land, but we have nothing to do with the mana. So go to a 6. So here we have a little bit more play. We do have the survival of the fittest that could get us into some sort of position where we discard a creature and we would get either Karmic Guide or Kikijiki, for example. And then we can activate Survival again to dump that into the graveyard, and then we get a Sacrifice outlet, which is going to be like either Carrion Feeder or Viscera Seer. And then we have a loop with Body Launderer and the Sacrifice outlet. But yeah, I'm gonna bottom this Activated Sleeper and keep this 6.
Alrighty, let's take our first 7 and see what's up. Santa's entering Force and Spellseeker we could probably play Spellseeker on turn 2, and then we could get something in Consult if we need it, but I don't know, there's not really that much gas, so I'm gonna go ahead and pitch and go down to my second 7. So I like this second one because it has an infinite mana outlet right here. We can see, so if we got Noble Hierarch out on turn 1, we could get Limb Tundra out on turn 2, then Freeze from Real later. If we actually just played Tymna, it might be a little slow. There's not much interaction or backup we have here. I mean, we just play Noble Hierarch and then we pass. I'm gonna keep it. Let's do it. Take it away.
Let's draw starting 7. This hand is actually pretty good, pretty close to being solid. We do have a meal, we do have an Eldritch Evolution for Dockside. We do have like turn 1 ramp into Felvar Stone. The problem is we don't really have a second land, so we still just have 2 mana turn 2 while using 2 cards, or 2 cards extra. And like if you draw land with 3 mana turn 2, but we don't really have anything to do with it unless we do like Intuition. And Intuition kind of works, but we don't have a graveyard enough for a breach line. So we're really close to like several different lines that are pretty good, but I don't think this is something we want to keep. It's also worth mentioning that this pod probably isn't really an early Dockside pod. I don't really know how Tymna Tana plays when it's a more faster Hulk list. I still don't think it's that many artifact ramps. Sisay, some artifacts. Tymna Tana is generally not that many. So early Docksides isn't really what we're mulliganing for. Like, we'll take them, but it's not what we actively look for. So second 7. Second 7 is way worse. Ragavan in this pod isn't as live as it could be in many other pods. And we're kind of just banking on Ragavan hitting something relevant because we don't really have any plans in our hand. Like, sure, we can Finale for something, but like, that's not good. And like, Ragavan is our only fast mana. So this is just land drop pass, hope for Ragavan hits. Yeah, not good. Go to 6. So I did say that if we got an early Dockside, we'd take it. And this hand is exactly a early Dockside. We still don't have a plan though. Like, our Dockside payoff is kind of Thrasios or top decking. We do have the Phyrexian Metamorph, which actually is kind of cute in this deck. Like Tymna is fine, Sisay is kind of interesting to be honest. Like if you do Phyrexian Metamorph as a Sisay with Thrasios in play, that's like actually relevant because we can find like a Kinnan. We actually cannot find a Kinnan because Kinnan is not in the deck. Never mind. It's less relevant than I thought after looking at the deck. So this hand is actually kind of questionable with that in mind. I feel greedy for considering this. I think I should probably Mulligan for like a way to heuristic study or a wheel early. We do have a lot of good top decks here, but I actually think this is a bit too greedy. If we could use Sisay better, I actually think this hand is pretty decent because we can use like Dockside Sisay or just Sisay and then Dockside when it's better. But given the fact that Sisay doesn't really do any work for us, I think this hand is too slow. So let's go to 5. We found Heuristic Study, but we have no mana, so we sadly cannot keep this. Let's go to 4. So this didn't end up perfectly for us. This 4 is like turn 1 Ragavan, hopefully, probably a turn 2 Windfall. That sounds great, but it's a plan. It's probably better than going to 3. If you draw land, it's actually pretty good. The 4th card is actually kind of interesting here because we need to keep Ragavan, we need to keep Chromox and Windfall. So the question is, do we keep a red card to guarantee the Ragavan, or do we keep like Mental Misstep or Offer, which both have higher upsides if you draw land? I'm gonna keep the Pyroblast to play it safe, and Pyroblast is still a good card to have, but I kind of wanted to high roll with Offer, but I think that's just a bit too risky. So yeah, let's get the game started.
Now, before we begin, if you're actually looking for a pop filter, I highly recommend using stuffed animals instead. Much cooler and cheaper. I call it the Pop Penguin. In any case, let's draw a card for turn. I'm gonna play this Tropical Island, tap it, and cast a Deathrite Shaman. And then I pass the turn.
Okay, draw for turn. I am going to play this Verdant Catacombs as my land for turn. I'm gonna go ahead and fetch. I will find this Badlands to cast a Ragavan. I'm going to pass my turn.
Before I begin my turn, I have a PSA as well. If you like any of the music you're hearing in today's video, it's by me. I'd love to get a follow from you, anything like that. Check it out. It's on YouTube. We'll have a link in the description. Anyways, let's draw a card for turn. All right, land for turn will be Whimswept Heath, and we'll go fetch. Grab to Bayou, and I'll tap Bayou to cast a Noble Hierarch. With that, 6 cards in hand, I will pass turn.
Go to my turn. Land for turn will be a Otavara. I will cast a Chromox. Chromox will imprint a Pyroblast. Then I'll tap the Chromox for a Ragavan. And with Ragavan in play, I'll pass the turn.
That's my turn. Untap and draw a card. Play this Overgrown Tomb, losing 2 life. I'm using my Deathrite Shaman to eat William's land in his graveyard, and then these 2 to cast a Heuristic Study, turn 2! And then I pass the turn.
Okay, I take my turn. Combat. Ragavan over at Rhetoric.
No blocks. And I have exiled a Devoted Druid, so nicely done. That does hurt me a little bit.
Tapping my Badlands for red, and I'm going to cast a Pyroblast targeting the Heuristic Study. And not paying for Heuristic Study.
The penguin does not approve of this malice. It is destroyed, sadly. But I draw a card at least.
With Heuristic Study dead, I'm going to continue by casting a Chromox. I'm going to imprint this Veil of Summer into it. I'm going to proceed by tapping that for a green, sacrifice a treasure, cast a Survival of the Fittest. Pass my turn.
And for turn is a Tundra, cast Dark Ritual, make 3 black, to cast Bloom Tender, 2 black left over, tap this for white, cast Tymna. For other game actions, I will pass turn with 4 cards in hand.
Go to my turn. Move to combat and attack Mons for 2 with Ragavan.
I take 2 and reveal a Rocco.
I'll make a treasure, and I'll immediately use that treasure as with 2 other mana to cast a Windfall.
No, not good. No approve.
Windfall resolves. We each discard our hand and draw 6 cards due to Mons' hand size. Post wheel, play a Scalding Tarn as land for turn. Then I will cast a Lotus Petal. And then I'll crack the Scalding Tarn, finding a Tropical Island. And then pass turn.
First thing first, I'm gonna tap this, remove a card from Pontus' graveyard, a land, to generate a white mana to cast a Lofo Corrupted Sheriff. Then I'm gonna cast a Sol Ring. This is gonna be my second spell this turn, getting a Lofo trigger, generating a treasure. Then I'm gonna play an Arid Misa and sacrifice it, finding a Plateau and using that in the Sol Ring to cast my commander Sisay, Weatherlight Captain. And from here I have a 4/4 Sisay and a Lofo, and we're kinda back in business considering things we lost. We have rebuild, and we passed the turn. Feed me!
Moving straight to combat. I would like to swing my Ragavan over at Pontus.
No blocks, take 2, and exile a volcanic island.
Tapping Chromox for green, activating Survival of the Fittest, discarding a Protean Hulk to my graveyard. Survival of the Fittest finds this Dockside Extortionist. I am then going to tap my Badlands, crack a treasure, and cast a Dockside.
I will not sacrifice my treasure.
I'm not sacrificing anything either. You get a total of 4 treasures.
Such a hard game we're playing. It's a hard game. Yeah, it's hard for me because I'm not very good. Sacrificing a treasure for a white mana, I'm going to play a silence, triggering Lotho.
Before you guys start thinking about stuff, I will announce that I have nothing against whatever is coming up afterwards, but I have a good interaction versus this. I have a mental misstep, which won't work against his Adnos or whatever he's doing post this, but it will work against this, so...
Yeah, sounds good. Guess I'll pass.
I'm paying to life, casting a mental misstep on your silence. You may not make me quiet.
So I'm going to continue my turn by cracking this treasure and casting a gamble. Alright, so I'm going to find this card, and I am going to discard a card randomly. So I discarded a Calling Ritual, playing this Wooded Foothills as my land for the turn. Pass.
Mox Diamond, pitching Breeding Pool. Land for turn is an Ancient Tomb. Tap by you and Mox Diamond for Thrasios. Trigger Lotho. Moving to combat, I will send I'll send it Pontus, making it 3 power because of Exalted triggers.
No blocks, take 3.
Okay, second main, I will lose a life and draw a card. I'll just ship the turn.
Good, my turn. I will move to combat and attack William for 2.
I'm going to take 2 and let you have my top card and a treasure Pontus. No blocks. And I exile a Eldramis Call.
I will tap Trop Island and sacrifice the treasure to cast the Eldramis Call. Finding this interesting card. Land for turn will be a City of Traders. I'll have 1 colorless mana floating to cast a Dockside that somehow got into my hand. Triggering Lotho.
So I have like a lot of treasures right now, guys, like 4 currently, which is annoying. Given the amount of treasures he's gonna generate from this Dockside is quite high. I could easily sacrifice all of my 5 treasures here and activate Sisay and find something to interact with the annoying Pontus. If you're able to cast, like, one of you is casting 2 spells, and then I'm good to sack all my treasures and interact with Pontus with a Sisay activation. What do you guys think?
What do you mean why 2 spells?
You need to cast 2 spells this turn to trigger my Lofo, so I get a 5th treasure, and then I can sacrifice all of those into Sisay.
Oh,
But then you win on your turn, right?
No, I don't. I don't have a win on board currently.
Yeah, not currently, but if you get another CC activation, right?
I'm just emptying all my 5 treasures to interact with Pontus. I'm like finding a stacks piece. That's not winning me the game. That's making Pontus not win the game.
The problem is that you could find something that wins you the game if I passed you.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you find a Lavinia here or something, then you will bump Sisay up to... And then if you have, like, a Derevi on hand or something...
Derevi's in my graveyard.
That's a
Pontus
win, right?
made me discard Derevi with
I guess it's...
I don't have a Derevi.
Okay, yeah. I guess that would be a win in either case, though.
Like, I'm not winning on my turn, and if I'm getting a CC activation, I'm not winning either. I'm just getting something to interact with Pontus, like a...
Sorry, I don't have two cards that I can play on instant speed.
All right.
Rhetoric, do you have 2
I have
cards
1, yeah.
that you can play?
I can play at most 1 spell.
But you can activate Thrasios, right?
I could activate Thrasios. I could do that if you are you going to interact if I do that?
Yeah.
Or do you mean like dump my resources? You just want me to activate it to, in good faith, kind of?
If you cast like 2 spells, I don't care what they do. I get a treasure and I can sacrifice all of them, and then I can find whatever, like a Lavinia Source Renegade doesn't really do... Maybe it does something, like he has only 3 mana currently. So Lavinia Source Renegade could be annoying here against him. And by the way, Rhetoric, Lavinia would also interact heavily versus that William over there as well. And with a Lavinia Source Renegade in play, I don't win the game here. I'm just scared of Pontus gaining like so many treasures with his dockside.
Yeah, I'll spin Thrasios once for now and see what we get.
Go for it.
Okay, this card will go on the bottom, and then we'll flip and show. It's a Finale Devastation, so I think I'm done just because I don't like the odds of having to play 2 free spells. Yeah, it's definitely not possible. I don't even have, so I think it's not wise to do it yet.
I pass on dockside in that case.
I also pass on dockside.
I'll make 10 treasures of the dockside ETB. Spicy. I'll use my colorless floating, tap my Otavara, and sacrifice 4 treasures to cast a Finale of Devastation, XS4.
This is gonna find Emil. Lavinia Source Renegade would have been great here, because he wouldn't have been able to cast this thing. Regardless, guys, I have nothing. I need 1 more treasures to do anything. But me doing something here now with the 5th treasure doesn't actually do anything anymore. So I have, even if you get me what treasure, it won't matter.
All right, just because we've passed another bit of table talk, we will tap Blue Tender for 4 and activate Thrasios once again. Well, that sucks that we have nothing to do with this. So now I'm just going to pitch it because I have nothing to do with it. Bottom to this one, and this is a Chrome Mox. Boo!
All right, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to activate with the foothills to fetch, find this savannah. I'm then going to crack 2 treasures and tap this savannah to cast a necromancy.
I will pass on necromancy.
All right, necromancy ETB. Target my mate with the ETB of necromancy.
So with Finale being about to resolve, I will float 2 red and 1 white in response to it. And we'll have 3 Mayhem Devil triggers.
Yeah, so my 3 Mayhem Devil triggers will go all at your face, Pontus.
Okay. Then Finale will resolve. And we actually can't do the meal line here because we'll let the Mayhem Devil Necromancer resolve. So we'll have to pivot to a other spicy line. So we'll first find a Spellseeker, and with the ETB, we will find a Ephemerate. We'll use the white floating to ephemerate the Spellseeker.
Pontus, you sound so smart and clever figuring out how to bamboozle through the game, but you forgot I have treasure, so sacrifice 1 treasure for something, and you can have a Mayhem Devil trigger, William, to kill his Spellseeker before his Ephemerate resolves on his Spellseeker.
This is what happens when you try to show the audience how to pivot while being tired.
You should have just find... I don't know what... Yeah, I don't know.
No, it was easy to just counter the necromancy. I just wanted to show the audience that you can pivot sometimes. And then I got...
Yeah.
I shouldn't swear. Then I got bamboozled by myself. Spellseeker will die and Ephemerate will fizzle. So now that our plans are blah, I can't say the word. Damn it. Rhetoric help.
Thwarted.
Thank you. I will crack 2 treasures for a green and a blue. Trigger Mayhem Devil trigger.
First trigger, I'm going to target Sisay, and the one above it that's going to resolve first, I want to target the Lotho.
I'll use the green and the blue to cast a Thrasios. I'll use my 2 red floating to cast a grinding station. And since we kind of need to sacrifice 2 things here to kill the Sisay and the Bloom Tender, because those are the 2 scariest things on the board, that William will kill because he wants to kill his own things. I'll actually respond to the grinding station trigger from the ETB to sacrifice my Chrome Mox to target myself to mill 3. Trigger Mayhem Devil. I will mill 3, which will be a Intuition, a Tundra, and a Talisman of Progress. Then the ETB will resolve, and I'll untap my grinding station. And then I will crack a treasure just to have a blue floating. Mayhem Devil trigger.
Is going to target the Bloom Tender over X board.
Then I'll cast a Lion-Side Diamond and pass turn.
Necromancy is going to trigger, and it's going to be buried and sacrifice itself, which will generate another Mayhem Devil trigger, and this one is going to go towards the no hierarchy.
Evil players doing evil things, but he didn't win. Draw a card for turn. I'm gonna play this Darkwater Catacombs. I'm gonna start off by casting an Arcane Signet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana total to cast my Sisay. And then I pass the turn.
We got our turn. I'm going to untap and draw a card. Move straight to combat. I'm going to swing this Ragavan over at Mons.
I'll take 2 damage and exile a Kataki.
Yo, that's hilarious. Taki, very interesting. I'm gonna play this Arid Mesa as my land for a turn. Spend 2 mana to cast the Kitaki. Pass my turn.
End of your turn, I will cast a Noxious Revival, Spellseeker. And then move to my turn. Chromox. I'm going to imprint this Finhorn Elves. Land for turn will be Verdict Catacombs. I'll tap it, pay life. Go fetch Tropical Island. That Kataki did mess me up, so what I'm going to do is tap this for blue, take 2 from Ancient Tomb, and cast Spellseeker. All right, it's a little obscured. Let me show you all this, but it is a Demonic Consultation. We go into my hand, cast Avacyn's Pilgrim, pass.
Kataki trigger. I will tap the City of Traitors, sack the Lotus Petal, and tap Dotavara to activate Thrasios. I will scry. It's close to being good, but it doesn't really work right now, so I'll put it on bottom. And I will reveal a Neoform. So still resolving the Kataki trigger, I will sacrifice the Grinding Station to itself to mill myself for 3. Milling a Mana Confluence, Fierce Guardianship, and a Breach. And then LED will kill itself. I would now like to go to my draw step. I'll draw for turn. I will move to combat. I'll swing a Ragavan at Mons.
I'll take 2, and you exile a Volcanic Island.
I'll make a treasure. Post come to my face. I'll cast a Mox Amber. And with that, I'll just play it safe and pass my turn.
I'm gonna have to untap here, be annoyed by the Kataki, sacrificing all 3 treasures, and then tap this, and activate Sisay in response to Kataki. I will find my own Ragavan, and then I will tap the Soul Ring to pay for my Arcane Signet and the Soul Ring. And then I will draw a card for turn. I'm gonna cast a Mana Crypt, and then I'm going to pass.
Alright, so moving to Mons end step, I would like to tap Chromox and activate Survival of the Fittest, discarding this Academy Rector to my graveyard. Finds this Kikijiki, Taiga, activate Survival again, discarding Kikijiki. With the second Survival of the Fittest, I'm going to find a Karmic Guide and put it into my hand. And then no further effects. And then I would like to sacrifice the treasure token for a black. And then still, while I still have the mana, I would like to cast an Entomb. I'm going to put this card into my graveyard. And then I would like to resolve the Kataki triggers and pay for my Chromox with the floating green mana. Go to my turn. Tap 3, cast this Tymna that's long overdue in this game. Straight to attackers. I am going to attack Mons with this Ragavan. And I am going to attack also Mons with this Kataki.
Sisay will block Ragavan, and I will take 2 from the Kataki.
Ragavan dies, Sisay blocked it. In my second main, I'm gonna lose a life and draw a card. I'm gonna pass my turn.
All right, we untapped on our upkeep. We have a Kataki trigger, so we will pay tap Ancient Tomb, taking 2 damage to pay for the Mox Diamond and the Chromox. And then we will draw a card. First action is to tap Avacyn's Pilgrim, as well as this Tundra, and cast a Grand Abolisher.
I'm going to respond with a CC activation, tapping this, which means I get blue-black, then green, white, and then use my Deathrite Shaman. I'm going to exile one of your lands in your graveyard, Pontus, because you've been milling quite a lot, to generate the last 5th mana I need to put a CC activation on the stack. So I can't really interact with the Grand Abolisher with a CC activation, but I can find things that I can put into play that could hurt him theoretically, so that whatever consult pathway he's going forward with would fizzle. Now Thalia would be great here, increasing the casting cost of everything by 1, because I do know that he has a Demonic Consultation in his hand, but if that's a Neoform to find a Thasus, then Thalia would basically stop him completely right here and now. Sadly, I do not have a Thalia in this version, because once again, this is a Necropotence deck, so Thalia inside Sisay with a Necropotence doesn't really fit. So we need to find something different. I'm gonna find Lavinia. Don't have much better to find, so if Lavinia does something, then happy me.
I pass on Lavinia, and Grand Abolisher resolves. Cast Phantasmal Image. I am making a copy of Dockside. Big surprise. We will make 6 treasures. I've got 7 treasures on my face. Whoa! No, actually, because Pontus did not attack his other treasure, so My apologies on that little gaffe there. What we will do now is we'll spend 2 of the... Actually, we'll just go ahead and spend 4 of the treasures. We're going to cast Finale Devastation, X equals 2. I'm getting Thassa's Oracle, and my opponents already know that I have Demonic Consultation in my hand, so once that hits the battlefield with the ETB on the stack, I will cast Demonic Consultation and cast the card I did not cast in December, but I'll still cast it. I'm going to name, I think it's Goblin Snowman. I'll just say that. GG's, I win.
Rhetoric, I do not have any casual cards in my collection. Sorry, no can do on the Goblin Snowman.
Yeah, this card's hilarious. I was thwarted in December when I tried to play that combo. But yeah, it's just a really goofy card, probably 10 cents or something. But, everybody should play it. It's really, really underrated. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great game overall. Like, for me, just had to kind of keep fighting through being denied resources. So you guys shutting off the Bloom Tender and Double Hierarch and then having Kentucky is just always being like 1 or 2 mana short from trying to do something. Got willed at the beginning, but I top decked that Phantasmal Image, and so the plan that I had the Grand Abolish in my hand too, so I was hoping that would just land, and I could go from there. But had not top decked that Phantasmal Image, I don't think I would have had enough mana to actually do what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I had a very good game for going to 4. And I actually think that my 4 was the best hand I had in all those mulligans. Goes to show you that if you mulligan hard, you get rewarded.
Never punished. Never punished.
But what you do get punished for is to pivot for content. Here I am thinking, I'm gonna show the audience how to pivot mid-lines. And then I end up just throwing instead. So I guess this is a cautionary tale to never pivot. No, this was purely just content brain for me. I want to show something different and then throwing because I wanted to show something different. I was actually very close when I milled the breach.
Did you miss the part that I had 4 treasures when you when you were going for the Spellseeker?
What I actually forgot was the fact that Spellseeker needs to survive. I kind of use Spellseeker as a sorcery, usually. So I forgot the part that it's needed to survive to begin with. And then once I realized that, I still forgot that you didn't crack your treasures in response to the dockside. So kind of, but that wasn't the big part. The big part was just forgetting that Ephemerate needs to resolve.
In any case, everybody, thank you for watching. And if you enjoy the music you're listening to right now, a link in the description below of the video to Rhetoric's cool collection. Take care, guys.